Friends of mine here. I'd like to introduce first, if I may, Licro.
You're right, guys. You're right, gang members. You all know me. It's the real gang himself. It's Licro. We're going to have a great night tonight. I can't wait to see all these teams get into it. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've also got Eddie here as well. Eddie, you need no introduction.
I mean, I'm glad to be here. This is the biggest thing that happened in the RBG community for quite a while. I'm stoked to be invited. I'm stoked to share this spotlight with both Kexman and Licro, and I'm happy to see some of the best teams perform here today.
Yeah, we do have some of the best RBG teams here during this tournament, and you're probably thinking Battleground Tournament 6 versus 6. Nah, this is 10 versus 10. This is a real all-out brawl during this weekend. I'm super excited. I've been taking a look at some of the players that we have, and some of the players that we have are incredible here this weekend. We do have obviously a little bit of a change-up format day one versus day two. So day one we do have almost like a round robin between these teams. They are going to be they're going to be facing off against each other to decide the standings for tomorrow, where it will be a double elimination tournament. We're going to be taking a look and getting the best teams from today in that setup. It's going to be great fun. I mean, Eddie, you take a look at some of the players that we have, and yeah, we have got some action on our hands this weekend.
I must agree with that, Kexman. If we just take a short look of the teams, we need Hota Talkme, led by Kili, one of the, we could say, favorite teams for this tournament. We have Speed Run last place, any percentage. Also a dark horse. I know I've talked behind the scenes. Some of these teams, they have been performing in scrims. German Academy, led by Evidence, one of the most feared rogues on the ladder. It's some big teams.
Yeah. Absolutely massive, and we were taking a quick look at kind of what was going on, Licro, at these teams and who's going to be facing off against each other. And I think actually one of the first games that we have coming up, which we'll be talking about in just a moment, is a little bit of a rivalry between those first teams.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? The rivalry, it's been brewing now for quite a while. They're going to go straight head to head. They are not holding back. They are out there for the ego. They're out there for the win. They don't care. They are not friends right now. They are not friends. They are on it. They want to get at each other, and they want to display which is the true best German team. Personally, my gang, Evidence, love them, but German heroes, Sydney is probably one of the strongest and most known leaders in RBG. He's always consistent, he's always queuing, he's definitely not scared to press that Q button. You know, I think it's going to be an absolute banger of a game. I am so excited for it. I think it's going to be fantastic.
It's gonna be brilliant, and you know, there's so much to look forward to this weekend. And not only do we have Battlegrounds to look forward to, not only do we have some brilliant players in this tournament, there's also a couple of really nice things that we've got for you folks in the chat as well. One of the big ones, just exclamation point giveaway. We'll talk about it later on. That's very important. You don't want to miss that. But I do want to give a big shout out to our merch sponsors, exclamation point champion in the chat. You can get your hands on some fantastic Method merch. I myself, I have my beautiful Method blanket behind me, keeping me nice and warm during these winter months. And look at how comfy those hoodies look. That is some fantastic gear that you can get for your character. It is indeed time to get cozy, but that is not all. There's also a little bit of a giveaway for something slightly different as well. Exclamation point Sylvanus in chat will enter you into a giveaway where you could win your own cutting edge achievement. That's right, you can get yourself a mythic Sylvanus kill as well as the mythic mount from Sylvanus herself. So that is exclamation point Sylvanus in chat, and that is all being done by the fantastic team at Dawn. So you can learn a little bit more about them, exclamation point Dawn in chat. You can follow them on Twitter at Dawn Europe. And not only are they giving us this Sylvanus cutting edge giveaway, they are also giving 25 million gold to the prize pool as well. So whoever wins this, they will be getting a little bit of gold spread between their team, which is always nice to see. They're a fantastic group. I do recommend you go and check them out. But speaking of fantastic groups, let's talk a little bit about this upcoming match here, because we hinted at it that there's a little bit of a rivalry. The first match that we are going to be seeing today is German Academy versus German Heroes. And Eddie, you filled me in on this. There's a little bit of rivalry there between these two teams.
Definitely. I mean, it really comes down to the two German leaders. It's evidence in Sydney. These two players they are the voices of the team. What they say will be done in the game. But also what I'm worried about is what map we're gonna see, because Evidence is known for their strong objective play, and as we know, this is a best of one random map. We have the special spin the wheel coming up,
yes,
and I'm really wondering what we will actually see, because I feel like on flag maps that German Academy has a very strong chance to win.
Well, you've brought up a good point there, and one thing that we obviously do want to mention is these maps here are not just all on one map. This day one, all teams are facing off against each other. It isn't just, oh, every single map is going to be on Gilneas. Oh, every single map is going to be in Silver Shard Mines. We have ourselves a very special battleground wheel that will be spun before every single match, and it is going to be random as to what these teams are going to be facing off against. Licro, how could that potentially kind of throw a spanner in the works for some of these teams, especially if they are expecting a specific map?
Well, you've got to look at these two teams. The thing is about these two teams, you've got the Avidance team, German Academy, and they are known for not team fighting. They don't like the team fight. It's more of a distraction. They love the ink. They absolutely love it. And that's where the game is going to be won or lost, in my opinion. If they get a map like AB, Arathi Basin, then there's going to be fireworks. You can have a Boomkin and a Guardian inking mines. You can have Avidance, and even maybe the Paladin, sponsored by the way, even they might be inking. You just never know. If you get more of a slow kind of map, a team fight map, say perhaps Gilneas, which would also be very, very active, this map. Even on this map, they
and
do
to
still
continue
look
on that note, I feel like also what combo they're gonna play, because I have seen especially German Academy coming into this first matchup. They have been playing a bit of different classes. I've seen they've taken out the DK as well. We haven't seen that much if we look at their ladder play. So I'm very, very excited to see if we see multiple comps coming out for both teams.
Yeah, and I'd like to know exactly who's going to win in chat as well. You can vote for German Academy or German Heroes 1 or 2, or even put their names as well in the chat. That will give us an idea of where we think the allegiances of chat lie at this stage. Wondering exactly who's going to be favourites for some of these players. And again, some of these players you're going to be very, very familiar with. We do have some teams that we've spoken about previously that are kind of almost like a dark horse coming up, not quite knowing a lot about them, but sometimes if you don't know a lot about the team you're coming up against, that means that you can't really prepare for them. You don't know what to expect, and all of a sudden, Licro, you end up on the back foot against some of these teams, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them to kind of make their way forward.
I absolutely agree with you, honestly. You know, one thing about RBG, and I'm a strong believer in this, you never know who's going to win. It only takes one mistake. It only takes one person to ghost a base at the wrong time. Say you're at Mines on Arathi Basin and you think Stables is ghosted and you leave that base for even 7 seconds and you're at a range, that base is gone. You get the third base then, and you then play super defensive and you follow them around. It's just going to be amazing. I can't wait to see these two teams play. I can see in the poll that German Academy definitely the favourites into this. I can understand why, but you know, German Heroes still a very, very strong team.
Yeah, for sure.
Do not disregard this team at all. They're a strong team. They've played with each other for years. I just can't wait. It's going to be fantastic.
It is. And we've obviously got to mention the fact that this is the Method Mayhem Battleground Invitational. So this isn't just sort of like scrimming. This isn't just sort of playing to get your rating up. There is actually, there's actually a prize on the line here. There's pretty much everything that you could ever realistically want from a tournament. You've got, there's a prize, there's a cash prize. You've got gold. You've got everything. You've got some fantastic giveaway from Razor as well. ! Razor in the chat. We do want to big them up because they've provided some fantastic gear for the teams here as well. So, this isn't just getting your rating up and, potentially earning a mount or a title. There's real world stakes at play here, which is, which is pretty big for some of these teams, Eddie.
Yeah, and I would definitely come into to the prize pool too. I think it's the first time in a long time we have actually seen like all this combined, like both the gold, the actual cash, and also, yeah, as you mentioned, the amazing giveaway. Especially, I'm really liking also the community part where we give back, especially the Sylvanas thing. I think for many could actually be quite cool. Even myself, I don't have the mount, so I might participate as well.
Got to grab yourself the mount, and I think that is one of the things that people really need to pay attention to is going into this. Is again, there's something that is on the line for these teams. There is something that again, this is real world, and that's where you can sometimes end up making a small mistake that you wouldn't normally make because you're a little bit more nervous. You've got to be very careful with tournaments like this, especially going in. Yes, you've played together for a long time, but tensions rise, and again, things can change very, very quickly. And speaking of changing very, very quickly, I think it's time we change up what these teams are going to be expecting from map number 1. Let's head to our first battleground wheel spin. Let's see exactly. Here we go. Map roulette. We don't know exactly what map this is going to fall on. This is, of course, between German Academy and German Heroes. There's a couple of interesting names there. Just quickly before we spin the wheel, Eddie, what do you want to see out of this?
Honestly, to test out both teams, I would like to see some Temple of Kokmogu. Temple of Kokmogu is a base where objective play is good, but you can really see brilliant team play. It's a map where playing as a team will really give you some advantages. It's a point-based game, and getting momentum in this map will be crucial for either of the teams.
And Licro, yourself, what do you want to see between these two teams?
Well, I'm telling you, it's all about Eye of the Storm. It is all about Eye of the Storm. EOT, what a fantastic map. You got the team fight in the middle. You got the ink potential, which is a guarantee is going to be happening between these two. It's going to be, give me Eye of the Storm. Give me Eye of the Storm, and I'm going to be the happy man.
Well, let's see what chat thinks. And while chat is letting us know exactly what map they want to see, map roulette, let's spin and see exactly what awaits us in map number 1 of the Method Mayhem Battleground Invitational.
I'm so excited.
This is going to be great fun. I'm super excited. Let's see exactly what we get. This is going to be interesting. Are we going to see Eye of the Storm? Are we going to see Temple? It's slowing down. It is going to be... Is it going to be... It is a Rathi Basin. So we've got AB as our map here between German Academy and German Heroes. Now, AB is a classic map. It's a classic battleground map. There's, obviously everyone talks about horror stories in AB, but between these two teams, I think there's probably no more fitting map. Maybe Warsong Gulch would have been slightly more fitting, but AB, I think, feels like a really solid first choice between these two teams.
Yeah, I have to follow up on that. AB is, as you said, it has been here since the beginning of World of Warcraft. Every player who has played World of Warcraft has played an Arathi Basin. You know it's about the checkpoints. You know it's about collecting bases. Now, I think we will see some interesting strategies. I expect that all 3 bases will be contested, and I expect that both defenders from both farm and stables will ghost. And I can't really wait to see. I think there might be some cheese waiting in force here.
You expecting some cheddar in a Arathi Basin? Interesting. Licro, how do you feel? You wanted EOTS. We unfortunately got AB, which I suppose is pretty much the antithesis of Eye of the Storm. Instead of being out in space, it's just on what is effectively a bunch of farmland. Realistically, are you quite interested to see what these two teams are going to pull out here for the first map?
I cannot wait. I should have said AB as well. What a fantastic map. I almost can't control myself how excited I am for this. I just know it's just going to be amazing. The ink potential, there's going to be stuff going on left, right and centre. I don't know which way this game's going to go. German Heroes, this is actually a very strong map for them. They do have a lot of success. But so does the Avidance team. And the Avidance team is notorious for being the biggest inkers in the game. So Sydney, you can't count out Sydney. Sydney there, he's got German Heroes under his command. It's going to be fireworks.
And just a quick one there. You obviously you use the term ink quite often there, talking about sort of these maps. And for people that don't necessarily watch a lot of these watch a lot of these tournaments, or even don't necessarily play a lot of battlegrounds realistically in the game, what do you mean by using the term ink? How would you describe that to viewers that may not know what that exactly means?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, inking is when you're defending a base and you decide to go and attack the enemy base. So, say if you control stables on Arathi Basin and you are trying to ninja cap another base, what you'll do is you'll leave it in stealth as quietly as you can. Hopefully, no one knows. If there's a demon hunter, you keep him in combat so he can't check. And well, let's just get into the game and have a look right now. Starting, back to you, Kex.
Yeah, see exactly what happens here. And I do want to point out this UI that we have here, this 10v10 UI, it looks super clean. This was created specifically for the Method Mayhem Battleground Invitational, and there are no other UIs like it. Even Blizzard themselves do not have a UI to this degree, and it does look very nice. You can see everything that's going on there. You can see all the various different cooldowns. Whether or not during the big team fights we will be able to run through all of those, I'm not entirely sure whether we'll be able to see exactly if anyone's popped pain suppression. They are available there, but it might be slightly tough. There's some big names here. There are some big classes. Super excited to see the Arms Warrior. We're going to be going in the next 5 seconds. These gates are going to open. I am so excited. This is the first game that we have this weekend. German Academy versus German Heroes. Eddie, what are we going to be looking out for here on this initial push here in Arathi Basin?
Expected some standard tactics would be that mines will be contested as a spin base. A spin base is where you send most likely stealthers to stay alive and to basically keep it contested by both. Now the big fight here will most likely be LM and BS. We will also see probably just a healer and a few melees trying to hold each other from the flag. Now I'm really excited to see German Academy. They have a lot of stealth. We see 3 druids, we see a rogue. I think there's a lot of play potential here in the making.
Well, one thing I find really interesting here, both teams they've opted not to play with the Guardian. If I'm seeing this correctly, they're playing. They're looking. That says to me that they're looking for the inks. You got Moonly here. He's going to sit in bear form. He's a druid, so he won't die. And he's going to spin that base for quite a while. But there's big damage going on to Serad already. I think he popped the hunt. There was a Sydney God popped the convoke. Oh wow, big cooldowns coming out. There's the desperate prayer used, and PS from Serad already. Eddie, this is looking quite difficult for them.
Yeah, it looks actually very rough for German Academy here. Serad is under a lot of pressure on BS. They have quite a stacked lineup here, and he's solo healing, which is very important to take notice of. We see 1 healer on each base, and yeah, it's rough. And Evidence is coming in now as well. This is the ghost I was talking about. There will be a kill.
Serad's gone down. They've killed Serad. Now that Avidance is in the middle, Farm is now ghosted for them. I don't see anyone ghosting there. Avidance is he's either thinking now 2 things. He's either going to be waiting until his team dies, and then he's going to come in and spin the base and make sure they don't cap it so his team can get a regroup. Iro here, absolutely tanking everything. This guy is a live lord. Okay, Iro's down, but we're going to see Avidance now. He's going to go spin the base. He blinds Dave. Yeah, he popped out the blind. Sap. Avidance has 20 fingers. This guy is absolutely crazy. But I can't believe German Heroes are producing so much damage onto German Academy. This is what I said. You can't count anyone out, especially not on AB.
I mean, we're looking at the score at the moment. It is currently 60 to 64 in favour of German Academy. German Academy are currently getting the numbers up slightly quicker, but Avidance did a fantastic job there at keeping the flag from being captured. And just how important is that, Eddie, in making sure that these flags are not captured as we move over to the mine here? Looks as though they are going to be... German Heroes are currently controlling that one. We're taking over at Lumber. There's a big fight going on over at Lumber. The Death Knights there doing exactly what they can. And are you interested in the split of these teams, Eddie? What's happening here, seeing the Death Knights going over to Lumber?
I think it's really to create pressure. What the teams are doing right now is literally counting man for man. They're playing the 3v3, 4v4, whatever is required to keep the bases spun. Also, to jump back to what we just saw from Evidence, this this what we just saw. This is the classic evidence. This team was feared through many seasons from doing this. They played double rogue. One rogue would spin, the next would spin. The whole team could regroup. They could held bases for 40 seconds, and he just showcased it here. It was beautiful for me to see.
Yeah, that's just the typical, and that's such a staple mark of the Avidance team. He can stabilise them. He can stabilise German Academy. They know that they can rely on him. But you know, from what I see now, they're looking to turn the base. I see that they got mines. German Academy captured mines. That's good. They're going to start ticking points faster. Now there's pressure onto Stables. GH Hunt pushing there. But you've got German Heroes, GH Leader here also. Maybe they might try to get the kill. Sponsored by the way, she does not have bubble. If she dies here, unless they get reinforcements, this base.
There it is. If she dies, I would be more worried about melting at that stage, because looking super healthy and then just getting absolutely deleted. Looks as though we do have a big push currently over onto Blacksmith, though. Aero's still absolutely chunking the opposition team, staying alive, and we saw previously the 1v3 that Aero took, and once again, probably lived past everybody's expectations. They do still have they've got Die by the Sword available, so that's a big defensive cooldown. Rallying Cry is going to be up in almost 15 seconds. That's huge. They've got to survive this, though, and they get absolutely destroyed by the players of German Academy. This is a really hotly contested Blacksmith here, right in the center of Arathi Basin, here on map 1. Game 1, not even map 1, because it's the only map between these two teams, between German Academy and German Heroes. And this is a massive team fight here. We can see German Heroes pushing through. The Starfalls coming out from these Druids. Unfortunately, they don't have their Arms Warrior, but that doesn't seem to be stopping them, because they are pushing hard here.
Yeah. And to elaborate on this, like it looks like a very, very good situation for German Academy here. Now the phase we come to stage 2 in RBG on AB. What happens now? 2 bases are kept for both teams. The last base that will be contested is the middle here. Now, if we see a stalemate here for quite a while, I expect some inks, but I'm not sure Liku here. Who do you think has the advantage?
Well, personally, I'm looking at the healers. German Heroes have all the cooldowns. Both teams, this could be a bit of a stalemate, but you can see their team, Iro's going a bit low. Sarah just popped instantly, clearly popping Radiance. Very strong ability, massive AoE heal for them. That tops them off, keep them fine, keeps the atonements rolling. And you know, I don't know which way this is going to go. Both teams have got 2 bases, and now the focus is completely on mid, on Blacksmith. And unless the Avidance team or German Heroes, or German Academy, sorry, can either get a base, they're going to have to ink. But this, for me, Eddie, I think it would be very, very noticeable if you see the Druids running away. Like you can see, I think the Avidance team, I think German Academy is inking Stables. I just saw a Demon Hunter. Yeah, we got Mooming there, but the answer for German Hero Leader is there. He's going to get reinforcement. Eddie, this is exactly what we all expected from the German Academy, isn't it?
Yeah, this is exactly what you were talking about in the pre-game. They will ink, and if they don't, they will ink again. And what I think also that maybe to praise a bit here for the German Heroes, they were the underdogs, but they have playing quite well. And now, what Evidence was feared most on this map, especially, was holding 2 bases with a slight point lead that makes sure that you win the game, and then they start inking bases to thin out the team fight, to force or to enable healers to ring. And I think here German Heroes especially, maybe they should send the DH to ink, maybe they should ink with a Boomy to thin out the team fight, because if we look at the cooldowns, they have bubble, they have what they need, but the mana looks very, very, very poor here.
I was thinking
you've got to take a look as well. I mean, take a look at the score as well at the top. This is a big fight for Blacksmith here in the center of the map, and as you mentioned, 2 bases taken. This is kind of what you expect, but this then puts the onus on the team that is currently ahead. They can sit here and fight this as long as they don't lose this fight. If it is a draw, this suits them down to the ground. As long as they can stop any inks coming in, potentially on Stables or on mine, then they're looking pretty happy. Whereas at this point, you know, if you're behind in score, you need to be pushing really, really hard. And it does look as though we have kind of got down to, once again, a stalemate here in the middle of the map, which, once again, is absolutely going to favor the team that is currently in the lead.
I say maybe you're too quick on that, because looking here, I think German Academy has a bit pressure. Look at the mana. Mesa Shield is completely dry. This, if I were German Academy here, I would start pushing some pressure on the DPS.
Mana's low for Serad and Hippie as well.
German Academy's in trouble. They're in trouble here. They're running out of mana, and And German Heroes even have the Demon
Hippie.
Hunters and the Hippies. They're focusing the attention. I see the Star Surgers coming in. Okay, Tops himself. He get the DH Darkness himself also. But, I don't even really like the positioning too much. But you got Donny. They turn their attention onto Donny. He drops super low. He rolls out twice. Now he's got no more mobility except for that TP. This team fight could go either way if they can stabilise just a little bit. But both teams, they're using the innovates from their druids. GH Hunt is going to go down. Heal is low. But then it's just a mana. I just don't see how this team fight is sustainable for them, guys.
No.
I just don't.
I don't see. Although, taking a look, Serad and Hippie have been able to get some mana back. I don't quite know how they've managed to do that. I mean, we've taken a look currently over at Stables here, just making sure that nobody is doing anything untoward. Obviously, Avidance there doing what they can to potentially keep an eye on this one. Looks as though we do have a move over. Mooming and Fafla here. Fowler Fanboy, sorry, and Avidance are here. So that means that we do currently have 3 players here. This could be a big move for German Academy. They're taking it, but it looks as though Sydney is there being able to stop that flag cap. This is huge. That was a big move on the side of German Academy, and I think German Heroes have actually been able to recover this one, but we do see the Convoke from Fowler. That is looking as though this is a 2v1 here. This is huge. This could be huge, but look at that, the Monk coming back as well. What a play there. There was so many opportunities for German Academy to take that.
BS is under pressure now. 3 people are dead.
There's too much map pressure. The Evidence team, this is what they do best. They find
the base.
Yeah. They've managed to get it.
German Heroes got farm.
German Academy have lost it. German Academy lost their one base. They're taking Blacksmith, but it's just a standard base trade. And on the side of German Heroes, this actually works out for them fantastically. As we see German Academy heading back.
But they're heading
defend.
back. And this is really this is major. This is actually good for German Academy. German Academy has the momentum. They're pushing for the base. The enemy healers has to rotate cross map. This is rough. Shikes, honestly, Shikes should go slower healer right here. This is a good situation maybe, but let's see if German Heroes can stabilize this.
Well, they've got the monk was at Stables, so now German Academy, they want farm back. They need this base, and they've got a little bit of a time frame until people get there to try and get it. But Donny's rolling in now. Then the Demon Hunter, GH Hunter will turn up. Miss Shield runs back to him, gets it. I don't think they're going to get this base, especially if they have he is playing Guardian. He tried to pop the Emerald Slumber, doesn't get it. Trying to just peel the team. If they can stabilize this, German Heroes, this is looking like
they've got the 3 bases. They've got the 3 bases. German Academy haven't capped Blacksmith yet. There we go. There's the cap for Blacksmith. But this puts German Heroes in a fantastic position. They've been able to sneak behind, take farm here from German Academy. They've been able to keep stable. There was a move over to stable by German Academy, and it didn't quite work out for them. This has put them in almost 100-point lead. And once again, this then puts German Academy on the back foot, and they are going to have to push hard. We do see German Heroes pushing back, heading towards Blacksmith. Looks as though they are. It looks as though German Academy have given farm up here. They're not ready to completely fight this, and Heroes are being very careful in not going too far away, because they know that all it's going to take is a rotation from German Academy, and that farm is going to fall.
Yeah. Well, and I think now this is a classic question that comes. What do you do when you are base down?
Farm? Ooh. Sorry, not farm. Stables. I do apologize. Not Stables. They almost got Ruffy there. Yeah, Ruffy is dropping super low.
Pressure. And if Avidance is there, he pops the smoke bomb. He's looking for the cap. What?
Are they going to be able to cap this? They got Stables!
Oh my!
That is huge! But are they going to be able to keep it? They've been able to take it. Are they going to be able to keep it? Because we do see, if you look at the top of your map, we do see a couple of players from German Heroes moving in. We see M Shield. Looks as though they are backing off though. So they may be giving up Stables here in a base trade. But once again, this then leaves, you take a look at Blacksmith, you've only got 1 player there. Are we going to see a switch over to Blacksmith and have another team fight here in the center of the map on Arathi Basin? You folks mentioned that Arathi Basin was going to be exciting, and I think it's living up to every single part of that.
I am loving this. This is exactly what I wanted to see, and I'm sure it is what everyone else wanted to see. Eddie, we knew coming in that these teams were going to be doing this to each other. I didn't think it was going to be this active, though. But you've got to remember, Stables, they have the 3 best bases now. They have Stables, BS, and LM.
And they still have a chance. What we just saw was a classic example. I was about to see it, but then we saw the Stables attack. What do you do when you are base down? You force the healers to one base, you run to the next, preferably the one furthest away, and then you slow them. And we saw that again. And now there's an attack onto Surat. Surat taking a lot of damage. We saw Hunt, we saw Pain here, but it doesn't look too rough though. They have healers coming in if you see on the right flank, Hippies coming in on the screen. But again, to mention, we saw the attack and we saw it was the cross map. The healers were too far from the base. They managed to get one kill and then CC the rest. And this is what you can do on AB and other base maps. You simply have to force the healers to one location, slow them, and then attack with DPSs on another.
I just can't believe it. And now German Heroes, they're in such a bad position. If they could have held that base for a little bit longer, they were approaching the point where you'd need 4 bases to win. They were in it's a big throw. That is a big throw. I don't know where their healers was. Donnie was super out of position. Personally, as a Mistweaver player myself, I always think you need to pre-float, sorry. He was just nowhere to be seen. His whole team wasn't there, even the Druids.
German Heroes still have a slight lead. We have all 3 healers from German Academy collected at this base. We see the DK starts to slow now. We see now, this is what I talked about. Sydney's moving, Hilmi is moving, everyone is moving. This is the cross map. You slow the healers and you make the play.
Yeah, they're looking. They've set their eyes on maybe mid. Looks like mid. They've got overwhelming numbers though. Hasbullah dives, TPs into the house. Mooming is there. He's sitting in bear form. The Convoke comes out. I think they're going to stabilise. You've got them coming. You've got Trajkovic coming. Shikes is there slowing the Rogue. That is quite interesting. What he's doing there, he's essentially taking the Rogue out of the game by just spamming Chains of Ice. Absolute nightmare for them. Sydney, GH that needs to get away. And they've got overwhelming numbers in mid, but they're just not producing any results from this.
They've got the numbers. Sorry, I was just going to say, they've got the numbers in mid, but take a look at the numbers at the top, where that is exactly where it counts. And we are on a knife edge between these two teams. There is very little. There's about 50 points separating them, just over 50 points. Any cap in any way is going to really upset the balance of this match. It's going to be super, super close between these two teams. Looks like we are going to end up having a brawl here in mid. Pretty much every single person is heading here, and it looks as though at this point in time, I'd probably give, take a look at M-Shield. M-Shield is completely out of mana. M-Shield is almost completely useless, and then you take a look at Sarah and Hippie over on the side. Looks like they have been able to stabilize here on Blacksmith. We've only got one player. City God is the only player staying here. Mooming is moving up as well. They have been able to stabilize here at Blacksmith. I imagine we're going to take a look across the map. We do see Ruffy trying to do something here at Stables. It isn't working out for them. And then there's a brawl going on, pretty much heading up towards Lumber. Again, German Heroes have kind of fallen behind here. There's a big team fight happening up towards Lumber. We can see a lot of players being slowed here. This seems to be where they've moved to. They keep moving to different areas of the map, and it just isn't working out for them, Eddie.
Yeah. And what do you see? Well, ooh, maybe they have a chance. The cooldowns coming in, but they have 2 healers, though it's rough. But also to elaborate, when we saw the attack on BS, what also was the reason why the death, you could say, of German Heroes is because if you notice at Mines, Daves is defending their Paladin, and this is another trick you also do in a lot of these situations where you're down. The Pala has good utility to spin a base, so it's good to put him on these roles and have more DPS open on the map.
Yeah, it looks as though they are still currently going here for Blacksmith. Look at the score at the top of the map as well. I do want to point out 13-23 against 13-21. It is super, super close between these two teams. Looks as though we do have some action over here at Blacksmith, currently doing what they can. German Heroes really have to push in, because otherwise, if this keeps going the way it's going, German Academy are going to take this by 50 points. It's not going to be a big margin between these two teams. Something big is going to have to swing in their favor. M-Shield is currently down for German Heroes, so that is one less healer. Hippie Serad still looking super good on mana, as is Sponsored, by the way, also looking super good on mana. Looking very, very, very stable here at Blacksmith, and Stables is also looking pretty stable as well. They've got these 3 nodes here on Arathi Base and Licoro. I honestly cannot see German Academy slipping up here as we move into the final 100 points for them. It's going to be over within a minute, maybe in a minute and a half, and Bossneck's going down. That's going to completely shut down German Heroes here at Blacksmith, and you've got to imagine that's it for them.
Yeah.
That must be absolutely heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking for German Heroes. They had the 3 base, they just weren't in the right place at the right time. And then after that, they seem to crumble I really expected them to be a bit more composed. I expected there to be a lot more map presence from them, but German Academy read them like a book. They knew exactly what they had to do. They knew what the win condition was in the end, and they succeeded. And the result of it is a win. Just been a fantastic game, honestly.
And as you mentioned, what was your main point from the start of the game? Evidence will link. And what would we see? We saw it. Were they down? They still attacked, and it worked. And this is why they are feared. This is a perfect example.
I mean, look at that, less than 50 points between those two teams. And credit where credit is due to both German Heroes and German Academy. Let's give it up in chat. Let's give it up in chat for those two teams, because what a perfect game to get us started here in the Method Mayhem Battleground Invitational. It was incredible to see, and as you mentioned, Avidance, and I think one of the key points there is you actually saw Avidance. They tried it a couple of times beforehand, and it didn't quite pay off for them. And I think that almost that put German Heroes a little bit. They were very, very cautious over it, and I think they potentially overcommitted during one of those attempts. And then the moment you overcommit on something like that, especially if it's an ink, if it's a cap on one of the bases, you turn around and you overcommit, and all of a sudden it just enables the opposition team to step forward. And Eddie, I think that's exactly what we saw there.
Yeah. And I think this is a good lesson to all the new players who wants to play RBG. Every game is winnable, even AB. AB is the base that is feared. Are you 3 bases down? It's over. But today it was not, and I really, really like that.
What I love about the Avidance team, German Academy, they're just so persistent with it. They failed the ink 2 or 3 times, just as Kexman said. They persevered and they reaped the rewards of it. And honestly, in the RBG community, you'd call that getting Avidanced. It happened. It's a staple point. That's what he does. He puts his team on his back and he walks them up that mountain. And he does that every single day, every single night. He has 20 fingers. There's nothing this guy cannot do. Absolutely fantastic, and exactly what I expected to happen, honestly.